I bet you didn't know that Kurt Cobain was probably trans. Here's why. First off,
and you wonder why, like, the general population thinks we're insane. First of all, didn't you get famous by, like, harassing waiters and, like, going to, like, places looking the way you do and acting the way you do and acting offended? That's how you got famous. That's why people know who you are. Like, isn't it, like, a total thing, like, with the community and all that, to get offended when someone assumes their gender and their pronouns and all that crap? Like, isn't that, like, a thing? Is that not exactly what you're doing? Like, the dude is dead. Like, period. And I don't really know much about him, and obviously neither do you. But, like, it doesn't seem like he was a big fan of labels. Like, I totally feel. You know, I've hated myself for a long time because of my, like, OG gender. You know, the one at birth, the whatever, and assigned at birth. It's not assigned, it's what you are, whatever. You know, you can make changes and all that fun stuff. But, like, for me, like I'm just gonna be selfish for a second, talk about myself. So I have, like, a smaller chest for a female or whatever. So if I work out and stop eating so much, it'll be flat. I don't want to be on hormones for the rest of my life and, like, simultaneously kill my body. And it doesn't make sense to, like, risk death to get top surgery. So that's my choice. I'm not gonna do anything about it. But it's like, it baffles me that, like, you know, I'm not saying, like, don't do all that stuff, you know, like, live your best life, do whatever you want to do, but, like, stop making, like, your crap everyone else's crap, you know what I mean? There's a difference between, like, finding solidarity with, like, fellow X, Y, or Z, you know what I mean? But it's, like, a total other thing to, like, base your whole personality and your online presence of being offended and making up shit, because that's exactly what this. I don't think anyone remembers because it feels like it was 100 years ago, but, like, early 2000s, you know, when, like, labels were stupid and boring. You know, like, Jeffree Star's a good example of that. You know, like, all the stuff he used to say and all that, and he's still who he is, you know? I don't care if someone identifies as a tree, if they're a cool person, you know, I guess I'll call them, but also I'm not gonna, you know, be friends with someone that thinks they're a fucking tree. And, like, don't be like, oh, that's an over-exaggeration. Like, no, there's motherfuckers, like, legit identifying as frogs. You know, like, that whole litter pan in the school thing, that was proven fake, you know what I mean? But, I mean, we're kind of almost there. Like, I've never felt, like, solidarity or, like, at one with anyone in the LGBT community, solely on the factor that, like, either we're not straight or whatever. Like, that just, it doesn't make sense. It kind of just reminds me, like the KKK or, like, racism in general. Like, the only thing you have in common is something that you can't change, you know, and that's, like, your biggest attribute. It just sounds the same to me, you know, like, say a white person or a black person or whatever, because anyone can be racist, and if you don't think that, then you're stupid. You know, if their best and, like, defining characteristic is the color of their skin or their sexuality or their gender, then they're probably a really boring person. Like, take away all the videos of you getting misgendered and stuff, and you complaining and you making up lies about people. What else is there? Like, what else is there? I'm really curious. Wait, I'm just waiting for, like, Courtney Love to, like, comment on this shit and just wreck your shit. It's gonna be fucking beautiful if she does.